Hey everybody, it is Tuesday the 17th and we are very excited. I'm gonna duck down a little bit so I can get in the camera. We gotta have the camera in the right angle to show off the puppies to you. The video shouldn't be about me, right? So anyways, camera's in the right spot for the puppies, I hope. So it is Tuesday the 17th of November and we're super excited to be putting together the pick video for you. We have lots of information and we want to go through it quickly and then give a lot of time to the pups. So these pups are 5 weeks old and they were 5 weeks old on Saturday. They're doing super good. We got Mr. Gray here. Actually, all the pups are just off to my side over here with Sage, and they've been nursing. So Sage has been weaning them and that process is going good. In fact, on the ground here you might see some of it. There's their kibble. They're doing great with their raw food and their kibble, and they're just doing excellent health-wise. Couldn't be more pleased with where things are at with these pups. So I'm actually gonna whistle to the pups and get them to come over here. We do a little bit of recall conditioning. Basically, every time we feed the pups, we whistle, and they associate that with coming to us and getting something wonderful, which is their meals. And so I'm gonna whistle and get these pups to come out here, and then we'll show them off to you one by one. So come on, pups, come on over here. It's your turn. It's your turn. Hi, hi, hi. And we got Sage to come over too. So okay, so we got the pups over here now, and they're all excited and woke up and ready to play around and have some fun. So I'm gonna just kind of take them one by one and show them off to you. Hopefully Sage won't try to steal the show. She loves to be loved. Oh, don't you, big girl? And she's doing wonderful with the pups. I'm actually gonna sit up here a little bit farther, and do you know what? I'm thinking Sage is gonna hog the show, so I'm gonna pause this and see if I can get her to just kind of be comfortable laying down to the side here for a minute. So hold on one second. Come on, Sage, come over here. Come over here. There we go. Okay, we'll see how long that lasts. So I'm gonna start with the girls and introduce them to you and show you them a little bit closer one by one, and we'll just kind of start at the top of our list. These pups are in no particular order, and first on our list we've got Pink. Pink was born at 16.2 ounces, and right now she is at a very healthy 8.4 pounds. So almost 8.5 pounds. She is actually the largest pup out of the litter, and so she's just super big. Not like oversized, but she's big compared to her litter mates. And so honestly, she's one of the more laid-back pups. So she loves to eat. We've got little Yellow down here munching on my ankles. How's that for an intro to Yellow? Little ankle biter. Not really, but at the moment she is. I know, Sage, it's your puppy's turn though, okay? Okay? Pink is the 8.4 pounds, and if you remember on her, she has solid paws for coloring. So front and back, left and right paws are solid, and then she also has the marking on her chest, and I'm gonna tip her up, kind of get her up close to that. It's kind of the shape of almost like a number 7, and it's still kind of holding that look to it, but not quite as defined as a 7 as it used to be. If I hey, Miss Yellow, You eating my sock. Sorry, she's getting me down there. So Miss Pink's mark there on her chest is still prominent and defined, not quite the same kind of look of a 7 as before, but Miss Yellow, you just go from one ankle to the other. Leave my socks alone, they're not your chew toy. Sorry about that. This part of the show should be about pink, not yellow, but it's being about yellow at the moment. So pretty soon she'll get bored with me and go do something else. But so this is Miss Pink, and like I mentioned, she's a little bit more laid back. So I think part of her growth and size is she's just kind of pretty mellow. I wouldn't say she's timid, but she's just not as active as some of the other pups. So her energy level is at the lower end of the spectrum, which is still a high energy level when it comes to comparing a Vizsla to a Vizsla and other breeds. Vizslas are still high energy, but Miss Pink here, she's kind of a more mellow one. So she's just a little chunky puppy right now and just happy as can be to eat and sleep while some of the others do a little bit more playing. So that is Miss Pink, and she's doing super good, doing really well that way. And we're gonna go to Miss Purple. So she's next on my chart. She's right here down by my feet, so I'm gonna grab her. And this is Miss Purple. So when Miss Purple was born, she was at 17.6 ounces. And Miss Yellow, you are cracking me up. Let go of my socks. That's my sock. Leave my socks alone. So, okay, back to Miss Pink. Miss Purple. Miss Purple, you're okay. You're okay. Purple was born at 17.6 ounces, and she is 7.58 pounds as of this morning. And so she's doing really good. I might have to go get my boots back on. Miss Yellow is just going for my socks. Keep going with this video. So Purple, I would say she is the more reserved of the pups. She's the mama's girl. So whenever there's something new and unfamiliar, Miss Purple is the first one to retreat and say, where's my mama? I need my comfort. So like as she's been growing up, this has been fairly consistent. So as she's been growing up and experiencing new things, Miss Purple, personality wise, she's the first to retreat. Like if we were to make a loud noise or do something different, she's the first one to kind of go back and look for mama, look for some comfort. And so she's a little bit more timid that way. So with her training, just being a little bit more patient with her, with some conditioning and things like that will be necessary, so that she doesn't, you know, kind of develop anxiety or something like that. And so that's Miss Purple's personality. At the 7.58 pounds, she's not, nope, she is, she's the smallest. No, I take that back. Teal's the smallest, sorry. She's the second smallest of the litter. So not small by means as far as too small goes. She's still a very healthy size and whatnot, but second smallest of the litter here. So colors on her, we thought she was solid. Her chest is solid. I'm gonna kind of roll her over and kind of get her close to the camera here. Her chest is solid. I don't know if you can see that, but over time, her back left paw, we've got some white hairs coming up on the side of one of her toes. So she's got just that very faint mark on her paw on her back right. No, not right. Excuse me. Back left. It's her back left paw. So her back left paw is got some white to it. So anyways, that is Miss Purple, and she's happy pup, healthy pup, loves to play, and a little bit more timid and reserved than the others. So next we're going to Yellow. Oh yes, Yellow, now it's your turn. You're so good and being relaxed over here now, huh? I knew you wouldn't chew on me the whole time. Huh, come see me. Come see me, Miss Yellow. Okay. Okay. Now it's your turn for the camera. Yes. Hi. Oh, love you, kisses. Yes. Okay, Miss Yellow. So at birth, she was 17.4 ounces, and now she's 8.28 pounds. So on the larger side of the spectrum with her litter mates, and so very healthy size that way. She's solid on the chest from what I can see right now, and on the neck she's solid as well. It's her back, her front paws are solid, and her back paws are quite marked. She has very distinct markings on her back toes. She's got marked toes, so that'll be fun to kind of have some toe markings with her. And so that is Miss Yellow. Oh, personality wise, Miss Yellow is quite middle of the road, so she's not like I would consider dominant per se compared to her litter mates. She's not really reserved or timid as far as that goes. She's very much a middle of the road type personality, so she's just doing wonderful and happy and healthy. So next we have Miss Teal. For a second, I'm just going to show off Mr. Gray. He's up on this bucket. He wins the award out of the litter for being Mr. Adventure. So he's one of the first ones to try new things and explore things and climb up on things. So he's a little bit more confident in his abilities that way, and you can see that right now. He's already climbed up on top of the bucket. Anyways, but it's not your turn, Mr. Gray. I'm gonna put you down. So we're gonna get Miss Teal up. So Miss Teal. So at birth, she was 11.2 ounces, a very healthy weight for a Vizsla puppy. And right now she is 6.34 pounds. So she's the smallest out of the litter, just like she was at birth. I wouldn't necessarily call her a runt. She's still what I would consider to be a full-sized Vizsla. She's just not above average like the typical pups that we see out of Sage and River. So Miss Teal is small. She's tiny, but she's still mighty. So on her markings, she has what I would call a very slight mark underneath her neck. If I can tilt her back and get the camera shot, the very slight, almost unnoticeable marking right here on her neck is still there. But other than that, she is a solid pup. Her toes are solid, front and back and left and right. So other than a very slight mark right there on the neck, it's looking to be that Miss Teal is a solid pup. So this is Miss Teal. Oh, personality wise, I need to tell you about her. So she tends to be on the smaller side, but she's no pushover from the standpoint of how she interacts with her litter mates. I wouldn't say she's the most dominant of the litter, but she is a more assertive one in the litter and the females. So even though she's small, she doesn't let anybody push her around, and she holds her own with all of her siblings, including the big boys and girls here in the litter. And so she does very well with interacting with them and playing around. And oops, sorry, Miss Pink fell off the bucket. She's confident and loves to play, and doesn't let the others push them around. Seems like there was one other thing I wanted to say about Miss Teal, but it hasn't come to mind. If I think of it, I'll mention it later, or if I think of it later after the video is done, I will still put it in the remarks on the website. So, but that is all of the females. So we're gonna next move on to the boys, and I might as well do Mr. Gray since I've already talked about him for a second. Mr. Gray, when he was born, he was 18.2 ounces. So he was a big boy as far as that goes, and right now he is 8.24 pounds. So not quite the biggest pup, but very close on the high end of the spectrum as far as size goes. So on his markings, we still have the little small spot on his chest. It's right here. And then we have the little small spot on his neck that's just above the collar line on his neck. So he still has those. At the moment, they're actually quite faint. They don't really show up very pronounced right now, so I don't think they're going to be super noticeable kind of dominant features as far as how contrasting the white will be with his typical coat color. And so but he's got those markings, they'll stay with him. On his paws, they're still looking to be solid, front to back and left and right. And so he's pretty solid other than those marks on his chest and his neck. So personality wise, like I mentioned, Mr. Gray is Mr. Assertive. He's the most adventurous spirited one. He likes to be well, what we noticed with him is he's one of the earlier ones to figure out an obstacle or do something new or try something different. Like he climbed up on this bucket, got to the top, and then started climbing on me. And so he's quite confident as far as some of that goes. And then with his litter mates, he's also what I would consider the more assertive one from the litter. So he's the one that likes to kind of take charge and be the boss in some play situations, and is a little bit more dominant than the others. So besides being a little bit more adventurous, he's also a little bit more forward with some of his personality as far as that goes. So it's not to say I wouldn't classify him as aggressive or something like that, but he's it's just normal, customary for out of a litter to have pups rise to the top amongst their litter mates and whatnot, and so that would be him. So next we will go to, what should we do next? We've got Mr. Gray, or Mr. Orange and Mr. Brown right here. I'm gonna go with Mr. Brown. Come here, Mr. Brown. Come see me. How are you doing? How are you doing? Okay, Mr. Brown here. So he's 15.8 ounces at birth, and right now he is 8.11 pounds. So he's a definitely healthy sized pup, and on the larger side of the spectrum with all the litter mates. And so his markings, he still has his marking on his chest. If I can tilt him back, he's got the more pronounced marking. That's a little bit larger. Let's see if I can get him comfy on my lap. It's all right. I won't drop you, I promise. I won't. I promise. So if I tip him back, I think you can see that. So that's his marking. You probably you can probably reference back to his litter announcement birth video to see that, and it's still a very dominant feature on his chest, and so looks great, makes him kind of a little bit more unique. I'm trying to look at his back paws, and at birth I don't think we noticed a whole bunch of hairs, white hairs on him, but I'm seeing a few white hairs on his back paws. So there's not a real strong showing of the white on his back paws, but I'm seeing a few white hairs. So there's definitely a few there. And as I go through here, his front paws are still looking solid. So Brown, personality wise, he is what I would call middle of the road. I wouldn't call him like timid or submissive or more assertive or dominant, but very much a middle of the road personality with Mr. Brown. So that is Mr. Brown. I think we'll do, we got blue and orange right here at my feet at the moment, and blue just ran that way. So we're gonna do Mr. Orange next. So come here, Mr. Orange. Come and see me. Come and see me. You are next to be star of the show. So Mr. Orange at birth, he was 18 ounces, and one of the biggest, pretty dang close to the biggest, as I'm looking through the list of the pups. And he's continued that trend. He's 8.3 pounds at the moment, so pretty good sized pup, but not by a whole lot more than some of the others. They've all stayed pretty close in size that way. And so markings, he still has a very small mark on his chest, but it is pronounced, meaning a little bit more white than some of the others. You can kind of see that. Sorry, I'm trying to tilt him without making him too uncomfortable, huh? I'm gonna lay on my lap and let you do that. Okay, show him off. Show it off. There's a mark. So that's his mark on his chest. I don't think he's got a mark on his neck, but there is a couple of little hairs right above his collar line that there may be something there that may manifest as far as a marking down the road, long time from now, as his adult coat comes in. And so his back right paw also has some markings with the lighter color hairs on there. So I think it's possible in his birth video I may have said it was his back left paw, but it is his back right one. I probably said it wrong in that birth announcement video, but definitely his back right. So I apologize if I said that wrong back then. I actually haven't gone back and looked at that video to know if I said that, but in my notes I had it written down wrong, so I may have said that wrong in the video earlier. So that is Mr. Orange and his markings. Personality wise, I would call Mr. Orange a middle of the road pup, with being a little bit on the side of a little bit more submissive compared to some of his litter mates, but not by much. I think he's very much a middle of the road, but not like a mama's boy where he, you know, Purple, definitely a mama's girl. Definitely wants to run to mom every time something new happens, but that's not the case with Mr. Orange. But as far as personality goes and everything else, he's a little bit more laid back than just a middle of the road personality. So that is Mr. Orange. And these guys have been playing out here long enough. They are all just crashing and falling asleep right here at my feet, which is what I wanted them to do, because when they hold still, then I can get a camera shot of them all holding still, so you can see the differences in their coat colors. So if you like a pup that's a little lighter or darker, then you can see the differences. So it's great that they have been playing and that they're starting to crash right at my feet. The last guy we have is Mr. Blue. He has actually fallen asleep over there, so I'm going to pause the camera, bring him back over here to fall asleep, and then we'll pick it up from there. So I'll be right back. Okay, here we are with Mr. Blue, last but not least, and proud to show him off to you. Of course, as soon as I got up and moved, some of the other dogs, little pups, decided to wake up and move too, so they're not all asleep right at my feet anymore. So I'll have to work on getting that shot for you here in a little bit. But we've got a little bit of time to let them settle back down again. Mr. Blue at birth was 15.6 ounces. He is now 7.93 pounds. So just barely under the 8-pound mark, like his brothers. So the smallest of the males, but not by much at all. He's very close to the others, and it's hardly a noticeable difference when you're looking at them. They're very close. So markings, Mr. Blue has the mark on his neck and chest. I'm going to move my feet over here, try not to step on a pup. So he still has the mark on his neck and chest that is connected. It's not like super bright white in color right now like some of the other markings of the litter mates, but it's definitely going to be a pronounced marking as his adult coat comes in. So it goes across the collar line and then just underneath his neck to his chin. So that is Mr. Blue with his markings. And personality wise, Mr. Blue is definitely a middle of the road pup, not timid or submissive, and then not super assertive or more dominant. Definitely middle of the road personality for Mr. Blue. So that is all 8 pups. Now my job is to get them all to fall asleep in the same spot. We've got 7 of them here. I need to go get another one, and I'll get a shot of them all lined up in a row. And then a little bit later we will focus a video on them playing, so you can see them playing around and having a good time. And so we'll kind of take it from there a little bit at a time. So first things first, a little video of them playing around. I will be right back with that.